Welcome to the Self-Awareness and Self-Compassion Podcast, formerly known as the Full Spectrum Feeling Podcast. I'm your host, Blaise Schwaller, life coach, mom, and former tattoo artist. I help people heal their past, speak their truth, and love the lives that they're living now. Join me here every week for conversations on how to live an imperfect but fully engaged life that embraces all the feels so that you can stretch into your best life while enjoying the you that's here right now.
Friends, let's talk about the people we love, the things we do for them, the joy that we get out of doing things for them, and also the sheer exhaustion from doing things for them. So recently, I've been going through a really challenging week with my family, where my daughter has been sick, my cat has been sick, my husband's been sick. There's been things to coordinate, people traveling, business stuff, like just all kinds of things, all happening at once. All of them are demanding my attention. And I've noticed how my value of loving my family, like this is what I'm doing everything for, and taking care of them is both my highest priority and my highest privilege, and also it hits this tipping point where it then becomes the biggest pain in my ass. I just want to have a shout out to all people out there who are feeling the same thing, because it's true that we desperately love the people we love and we want to take care of them, and they're the most important thing ever. And it's why we put our needs aside. And we go, okay, you need me? Here I am. Let me be there for you. And then, oh, you need me? Let me put all my shit aside and I'll be here for you. This is it. This is what I've been training for my whole life, right? This is what I've wanted. And you show up and you do it. And it's been fascinating watching my own levels of both commitment, love, like all of the things that I experience peak, and then just hit this ledge where it's like, I watch it go over the edge where I'm like, oh, I can't believe this is still happening. So it's been a really interesting ride. And particularly because it's been such an intense week, I'm able to talk about it right now while it's fresh. And hopefully we'll all get something out of going through this together, even if it's just venting about how it's frustrating that this is true. We don't want it to be true because we really, really love people. We love to think that, nourishing them is what gives us our energy, but I don't know. At least it's not true for me. It's not where I get my energy. That's what I've had to admit to myself this week, is that caring for others, super important to me. Honored, privileged to do it most of the time. Really love doing it. And then after a while, it's like you suddenly realize that you're a human being with other needs too. And then I think what happens is we keep making the decision that I kind of need some time and space, but what's really important right now is my kid is sad and she needs me. I really need some time and space, but my kid is sick and I need to get her some food. I'm really needing more time for myself and more space for myself and just a moment to, take a shower, read a book, turn my brain off, not be touched. That becomes a thing. And someone will need something and I'll watch myself not give what I need to myself in order to give what someone else has asked or seems to need to them. And that's about when I notice the resentment beginning to build. And there's a part of me that wants to judge that really harshly. That's like, no, Blaise, don't be like that. You don't need to be nasty about it. Like she just needs you. She loves you. She needs you and she can't do this for herself. So you're going to help. And so you do it. And then the next time, like it happens again 5 minutes later and you're like, oh my God, okay, I'm doing it. And I notice that I'm a little more abrasive with my love, a little less kind, a little less excited to just be there. And, it's the decisions of what are we going to do while we're nurturing through this tragic time. We're going to watch Gumball on repeat for hours and hours and hours a day, like the most loud repeat noise kind of din that I could have in my living room. Or we're going to watch, I don't know what else she watches. It's Gumball lately. That's been driving me bonkers. And it's me going, okay, I can't actually cope with this level of noise, but I also want her to be happy and feel better and soothed. I'm going to try and cope. And I think that's how you can start telling, like, oh, maybe I'm not making the best decision here for everyone. I might be making a good decision for my kid, but it's not a good decision for me. Is that I've chosen something I hate in order to do something that my kid likes that I think might make her feel better. And then I'm getting more irritable. And the next time she asks for something, I'm just a little bit more titchy with it. And then the cat needs something. And then it's just time to do whatever the next thing is. Make dinner, go shopping. You know what? That hasn't happened in a week. It's just been crazy over here. But mostly it's the sitting and the comforting and the nurturing and the offering of foods and water and temperature taking and like cleaning up puke and cleaning up poop and like all of the stuff that happens when you have a sick animal and a sick little human, and then you have a sick husband, and it all is there. And you're like, oh my God, okay. I'm also not feeling great, but I guess I feel like the least not great, so it falls to me. And part of me is like, dude, do you have a hero complex? Is that why you're stepping up and doing all this stuff? Because you also could just be like, nope, and lay on the ground. But I never choose that. It's crazy. I never choose that until I actually get so sick that I have to choose it, and then I do. So I'm getting better at needing to put up boundaries. And it's so funny how I can like teach other people, like, God, you got to put up a boundary there. You can't always do what other people want just because they seem to need it. You also have to do something you need. And then it comes time for me to choose. And darned if I can make that decision. I can't. It's like I just don't know how to choose myself without feeling horrible about having done so. So I'll do it for like an hour, maybe, if I can get away with it. And then, oh, here's what happens. And then in the hour that you finally decide, I'm just going to go upstairs and lay on the bed and cry, I just need this, you will then be woken up by your child coming in with your husband to show you some cool magic trick. And it was awesome, and it was very sweet, but it's like nothing is ever on your terms. I think that's what has worn me down, is the lack of anything being my decision for the whole week, except for decisions around how to manage other people's tragedies. And yeah, it's exhausting, guys. It sucks. I'm very tired. I'm very depleted. And it's funny because, you know, when I look back at all these episodes, I've been talking a lot about slowing down and not wanting to do too much. And then like illness will come through and you can't really do too much. And it's like forced upon you. And I guess if it's like your sickness, maybe you're slowing down with that. But if it's someone else's sickness and you're the caretaker, it's a whole different thing. My thoughts on this are just all kinds of messed up. All of that is to say, it's hard. I'm tired. I think I need to have a little bit better boundaries and an ability to say no, even to sick people, about how many times I can do a thing for them without needing to do a thing for myself also. I guess that's what I've learned from this experience, is that I can do an awful lot, and I also deserve to do some for myself. So it is okay if I need to go take a walk, or, you know, poop in the bathroom by myself. That would be a treat. Maybe go shopping or just do something on my own. But you know what? I don't want it to be a chore. I don't want to have to like do chores in order to get alone time. That's a freaking dilemma. Like driving home from the emergency vet on the highway for 40 minutes. All I want to do is come home, and I'm sad and I'm scared and I don't know what's happening with my wonderful animal. And if she's going to be okay, because they're doing tests, but they know they're going to hold her overnight. And I'm like, okay, I want to go home because I just need to cry and I don't want to be driving. And I actually pondered, like, should I just go past my exit and go find a park somewhere to just sit? Because I know the minute I come in the door, I will be explaining everything crappy that just happened and that I don't know. And I'll be right back on duty. And it's sad to have that be the choice. Like, do you come home and get smacked back in the face with, I need you and everybody needs you and it's so sweet and wonderful and awesome and terrible and frustrating and exhausting? Or do you go hide from these people you love so that you can have like 10 minutes to just cry by yourself and not be bothered by anybody? And those are the choices lately. that I've been feeling through. Ugh, what a depressing episode, you guys. I can't believe it. Well, the update. Things are better. Child is feeling better. Husband is almost better. Cat is back from the vet, doing okay, switching diet. Vitals, everything wonderful. My bank account is crap, but my heart account is full. I was able to allow my child to return to camp today, so there was time to record this episode. And talk to a friend. And pick up my cat. And soon it will be back to snuggling and nurturing and making sure that all is well. But yeah, I wanted to record an episode about how everyone feels this kind of depletion when you give and give of yourself and you don't allow yourself to get what you need. And sometimes it's because we don't even know what we need, or we think that it's not as important as what other people need. So obviously, like, we make the choice on purpose because we really are thinking the other person needs more than I need. But I'm asking myself to question that and go, wait, what do I need in order to show up better and not be an asshole? And sometimes you're going to need to take that and receive that. I think that's it. Like, you give a lot, you need to receive some in return. Like, we can't, that trite little saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, but it is true. You can only say mean swears and get tired. So, my friends, I hope that when things get stressful and hard and you are faced with an impossible week, that even in the midst of it, you recognize when you're starting to get pushed over that edge and that you need stuff for yourself, that you recognize it in time to be able to give even a little bit of that back so that you aren't, pouring from that empty cup. Even if you're only able to fill it a little bit, it's something, and it's definitely worth it. Sending you all a big hug, hoping that your week is fabulous, and I will see you next time.
Thanks so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and share it with someone you love, and leave us a review. You can learn more and get some self-compassion tips and tricks by visiting coachwithblaze.com, where you can sign up to get my free booklet on overcoming anxiety, overwhelm, exhaustion, and burnout. I'm sending you so much appreciation and love, and I'll see you next time.